Understand what the afternoon strategies you should be again looking towards for the market right now. The market is giving a sideways trend at present, and for that, let me welcome Samit Chavan, the technical analyst at Angel Broking. Samit, good morning and welcome. Let's talk about Nifty first. 10,920. Is it a good area to initiate long positions at present? A bit of dip, then a recovery, but are we looking for some intraday strategy at present?
Good morning. See, last 3-4 days has been quite encouraging for our market. Last Friday, we believe that the foundation has led now. The major, resistance level, which is around 11,000, which has been acting as a sturdy wall since last couple of months. This time, the stage is set for this level to get surpassed. So, we believe that 11,000 is likely to be crossed in probably next 4 to 5 days. You never know, RBI monetary policy probably becomes the reason for this particular development. Overall, we have been maintaining our positive stance. However, last 1.5 months has been a bit of challenging task for our traders, but now looking at the overall structure, the broader market participation, we believe that going ahead we are likely to see decent rally in market. So intraday as well as positional, one can go long at current level. Now 10,800, 10,900, we believe that would act as a very strong support. We have seen good amount of put writing in 10,800 and now today around 10,900. So positionally speaking, one can keep a stop loss around 10,840, and first target to watch out for would be obviously recent swing high of 10,985. But looking at the overall price movement in the broader market, we expect 11,000 to be surpassed, and Nifty eventually may head towards 11,150, 11,200.
So Samit, from that perspective, because there is a budget event also, we were just talking about that. From that perspective, and also I'm asking from a sort of a chart perspective, as a strength perspective, is writing 10,700 put, is that something which is carrying some margin of safety as per charts? If somebody actually was strategizing for the budget also, and as you were saying again, perhaps the trigger could come from there also, is that something which is a good idea, or at present just going long, buying calls the put is only the better option?
Yes, ahead of the event, it would be always advisable to trade on the long side rather than writing put. It would be risky, at least for retail traders. Yes, if you have a decent amount of position in stock futures, then you can hedge it against the writing put option. But at this juncture, what we believe it going long in futures as well as going long in 11,000 call at the money 10,900 call makes a sense. So one should trade with a positive bias rather than writing puts. It's better to go long on 10,900, 11,000 call, or in futures also, which is providing a decent risk to reward ratio at this juncture.
Fair enough. Let's talk about first your stock bets, and then we'll progress through to the other top movers of the day. So what would be your top calls?
See, first buy call would be on Britannia, which has been a steady outperformer. If you look at the overall price movement in last couple of months, we have seen massive destruction in the broader market, but within this time this stock has been consolidating, and since last couple of days this stock has been showing some kind of positive traction. Today it's on the verge of a breakout, and if we look at the overall activity in future segment, we are seeing good amount of build up. So from here on, this stock is poised for a decent move. First target to watch out for would be around 34.20, and next target would be around 34.80. So one can go long at current level, keep a stop loss at 30 to 40. Apart from this, Havells is the one stock that has been clearly bucking the trend. The stock has been outperforming, and couple of days back there was a decisive breakout seen from its all-time highs. The stock has been maintaining a sturdy structure, so we believe that the stock is poised for a good move. 770, 780, these are our near-term targets. One can go long at current level. That's a positional buy with a stop loss of 710. Apart from this, Bharat Forge, which we believe is probably in a process of forming some kind of base around its multi-month support levels. From here on, it's a contra buy. The stock has already broken out from recent falling wedge pattern. From here on, 532 is our near-term target. One can go long with a stop loss of 478.
Well, those are the calls coming from Samit. Samit, let's also talk about the financial names here. What's your opinion at present around Axis Bank? And let me add another stock to that list, RBL Bank. Both of them. Axis Bank, if you take a look, today again after moving sideways, is slowly again now moving up, still 0.5% up only. No major move, but important point here is They're still holding strong around at 725 area. And second, I want to ask you around the RBL Bank, how is that counter looking to you?
See, Piyush, if you recall, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank and RBL, and from the mid-cap space, RBL and KTP, and these have been our preferred picks ever since, Axis Bank gave a decisive breakout from its previous multi-year highs in the, month of August, somewhere around 600. Any pullback, towards 580, 570 be interpreted as a good buying opportunity with a, time horizon of nearly 6 to 8 months. The stock gave a decent pullback and again it has resumed its uptrend. So within this space, this stock is likely to outperform and we won't be surprised to see this stock, heading towards 800 quite soon. So one should trade with a positive bias. 700, would now be seen as a major support level. Apart from this, RBL, as a disclosure, 4 days back, we had recommended a strategy in RBL Bank, a long strategy in RBL Bank to our clients. We have already booked out since, it was a momentum trade, but with a positional perspective, the stock looks good. Yesterday, this stock finally managed to surpass its, 2 months high with substantial rise in volume. So that suggests that the stock is now likely to continue its upward trajectory, wherein we expect the stock, heading towards its all-time highs of 640, 650.
Well, that's the word. Some material open interest addition happening in both the stocks here. In fact, Axis Bank also, as we were talking, the open interest addition is 4%. So that's a good open interest addition happening for both the banks. And Bandhan Bank, bring Bandhan Bank on the screen. We're going to spend some time on financials again today in the first half, because again there is some clear momentum which is happening there. That's Bandhan Bank for you. Now let's bring the open interest addition box also there. There's a good happening there again. Premiums are also again looking good. One word, Samit, how is Bandhan Bank looking to you? And if I want to compare that with the Bajaj Finance, are there any entry points, opportunities again for either of the stocks?
Sipesh, I would certainly avoid Bandhan Bank. This stock has been, underperforming, and ever since the stock breached its major support level, previous support level of 500, we have seen a series of lower highs and lower lows. Yes, today we are seeing some kind of positive traction, but the stock has come off a bit, quite a bit from its higher level. It was in an oversold territory, so some kind of relief is quite possible. But any bounce back, a decent bounce back towards 450, 460 according to us, so would be an exit opportunity in case of Bandhan Bank. The second stock that you talked about is Bajaj Finance. We are quite upbeat on this stock. However, this stock has been consolidating since last 3-4 weeks. It's a matter of time. We are expecting this stock, surpassing its recent high of 2660 quite soon. So one should trade with the positive bias in Bajaj Finance as well. Our near-term target is somewhere around 2800, 2850.
Right. On ACC also, Samit, what's the word at present? 10% addition to open interest. Again, if you take a look at the number here, the stock is up 1%. Results are today. Ahead of the results, what are the charts telling you? Is there some momentum which is still left in the charts?
See, the entire cement space has been underperforming. Although it is trading around its major support levels, we would rather wait for some kind of follow-up moves in ACC. As far as levels are concerned, 1450, 1460 would act as a very strong resistance, and unless this stock surpass this level, we would avoid going long. In fact, at higher levels around 1460, one can look to lighten up position. But once this stock surpasses 1460, 65, convincingly, we could see the stock easily heading towards 1520, 1540.
Right, that's the word on ACC. Results are today. The state is expecting a strong growth in profits on the back of higher volumes in central India, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, a bit of North India, and that's how the state is expecting. And there is some excitement which is visible on the charts at present. But now let's take a short break. But stay tuned. As we return from the break, we're going to come back and talk. You're watching F&O Spotlight. Now let's put the spotlight on IT stock. Hexaware, there is a good build-up happening, 10% addition to open interest, the stock is up roughly 1.5%. L&T Infotech, again bring that stock also on the screen. Let's see again where the stock is trading at present. So that's again Hexaware, which is almost 1%, good volumes. Now bring L&T Infotech also. Let's look again how the mid-cap IT stock is performing at present, almost 4% up. Volumes are picking up, still lower than Hexaware, but again still picking up here. Both the stocks, Samit, what's the trend, what's the word at present, if there is anything which you're liking amongst the two?
Recently we saw good amount of outperformance from the entire IT basket. However, Larger names were doing quite well. TCS, Infosys, and Wipro, they have been clearly outperforming its mid-cap names. But Hexaware, since last 3-4 days, again it has regained some kind of strength after coming out of its recent concession zone. So 330, 335 was the trigger point. It was breakout point, and since last 3 days, the stock is clearly on a roll. From here on, looking at the overall cash segment volumes as well as good amount of build up in future segment as well, we expect continuation of this move wherein the stock can easily head towards 375, 378. So one should stay put. Fresh long is not advisable considering the risk to reward ratio. So one should stay put with a strict stop loss around 352. Apart from this, L&T Infotech, which has been consolidating of late, and today it is on the verge of a breakout, so it is showing encouraging signs today. If you look at the overall activity in the cash segment, in 1.5 hour, we have seen good amount of cash participation. So from here on, once the stock surpasses 1840, it would confirm a breakout, and then it can head towards 1900, 1920.
Right, that's the word coming on to mid-cap IT. In fact, L&T Infotech is doing quite good. Again, as you're speaking, is now almost actually 4% up. Again, that's the stock for you. But two more stocks. Let's talk about open interest addition. Dr. Reddy is not able to build from the morning gains, but still open interest has been increasing continuously. 9% addition to open interest. Again, let's look at Dr. Reddy's chart at present. That's the chart again. That's what I'm talking about. Volumes are good, but not able to build on the morning gains. But the open interest addition still remains high. The second stock is Titan, almost 7% addition to open interest on the long side, and the stock is roughly up 3% at present. This chart is different from Dr. Reddy's, and this is why I think you will be liking this chart, primarily because the stock is building up, open interest is adding up, again after good results, 2 consecutive sessions, and the buying is getting stronger here. Samit, either the two charts, if there is anything you're liking.
See, I would certainly go with the rank outperformer Titan, which is certainly known for its steady performance over the past few years, and the major bull run which started a decade back, it has been maintaining its sturdy structure. As a disclosure, a couple of weeks back, we have recommended this to our clients around 948, 950, and we have been maintaining a positive bias. Our immediate target was around 1020, 1030, but now we have revised it considering its overall price development. We won't be surprised to see this stock, stock heading towards 1100 or surpassing that important level as well.
Right, and let me step out of the F&O space for one question here. Samit, if I'm just looking at the market breadth here on the Bank Nifty side, is there any strategy on the Bank Nifty which you want to recommend? Is it looking sort of good buy at present from the sort of frontier names where again those actually are still showing some sideways trend? You are seeing some positive HDFC Bank, Axis Bank. But what is very clearly evident here is that mid-cap private banks actually are seeing some traction, from Jammu Kashmir Bank to Lakshmi Vilas to Bandhan to RBL. We can argue again about the quality between the banks, but from that sort of breadth, what's the opinion on the Bank Nifty?
See, yesterday's recovery in the market from lower level in the latter half was clearly driven by the banking index. So going ahead, if Nifty has to surpass 11,000, obviously Bank Nifty has to step up and it has to start outperforming. So yesterday's price action was quite encouraging. However, the Bank Nifty has been consolidating since morning, but the moment it surpasses today's high, so Bank Nifty spot 27,276 is the level to watch out for. Once Bank Nifty surpasses this hurdle, we could see a sharp move of nearly 150-200 points probably today or tomorrow. So one should trade with a positive bias and buy about today's high with a stop loss of 27,150, and we would expect Bank Nifty heading towards 27,450, 27,550.
Right, so 30 more points. Someone is saying again, wait for 30 points. If Bank Nifty is able to travel that distance, then you can actually create a long position. So not now, another 30 points to go for the Bank Nifty. From there, a couple of more interesting moves. Let's talk about all of them. And first, actually, let me highlight is, and those stocks actually where some good open interest addition is happening. Marico is something. The stock is completely flat, but there's a 5% build up in the open interest which is happening. But on the short side, let's also talk about a couple of stocks where there is some good selling which is happening at present. And the first one is Jubilant Foods, 4% down right now and 7% addition to open interest on the short side. And this stock was seeing some good traction yesterday. So again, while the GST sort of demand in terms of anti-profiteering, again that actually has been asked for the company, but the stock actually is definitely seeing some short build up here. Second is Ajanta Pharma. And in fact, let's talk about Bharti Airtel first here. Bharti Airtel has made some good recovery in the last half an hour. Let's look at the chart. Should be looking interesting. 6% build up in the open interest. That's the chart for you. From the lows, it has not touched even a new low after that. Gradual recovery and now trading at days high. Samit, let's first talk about Bharti Airtel. What is the chart telling you?
See, it's around its make or break point now, at least in the near term. 300, 298 seems to be a very strong support. So in initial trade, the stock, snicked below this important support level, but again, it has given a V-shaped recovery. So today's close would be quite crucial if it manages to defend this important level of 300, 298. On a closing basis, then we could see some kind of recovery towards the higher end, which is around 320, 322.
And a word on Jubilant Food, if somebody was holding position from yesterday, what they should be doing, or has the chart broken down, or is it just a normal profit booking which is happening?
CPH, as a disclosure, we are a bit on the stock, and we had recommended yesterday also somewhere around 1340 to our clients. So we would stay with our positive bias, and today's dip we would rather interpret as a good buying opportunity. Obviously, it has come off quite a bit, since yesterday's high. But 1340 to 1320, according to us, would act as a very strong support. It's a pullback level as well. So from here on, we would see some kind of buying interest emerging around its important support levels. And going ahead, we expect the stock heading towards 1450, 1470.
Right, we're moving towards the end of the show, running out of time, but I think one stock they should be highlighting, that's Praj Industries. Let's bring that stock on the screen. The stock is up 8%. When we started the show in the morning, again, we talked about how sugar is looking like a theme again, which is going to work for the first half at least. But from there, from just about 2-3% up, the stock has built up on volumes, 34 lakh shares being traded, trading at days high, almost 8% up. It's not an FNO. But still, Samit, how's the stock looking to you? That's a breaking stock, Praj Industries. Sugar is looking really hot. But Samit, what's the word on Praj, and what should be the action here?
See, last 6 months have been quite good for the entire industry. Most of the stocks from this sector have given decent amount of returns in last 5 to 6 months, wherein the broader market was facing some kind of challenging period. The stock has given a decisive breakout last month from its 10-year concession zone. So we believe that going ahead, the stock can easily head toward its recent highs, 155, 160. These are the levels to watch out for. So stay put, and in case of any dip towards 125, one can go long.
Samit, as always, thanks a lot for coming on the show and sharing your insights. And with that, we move towards the end of this edition of FNO Spotlight. Thank you so much for watching us.